was it? People ask. They talk to me as if they were connected to the war in Iraq, connected to the service. They were too lazy, too undisciplined, too political, too whatever to join themselves. Hot and sandy, I answer, refusing to feed their idea of glorified war, already reinforced daily by MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, and more. Oh, they reply, the smile fading from their face. I give them a cold stare, to make them wonder if I killed any Haji, ragheads, camel jockeys, or any of the other offensive terms that we were taught to call the people we are at war with, in order to dehumanize them until they become our enemy. Are you going to have to go back? They ask, with dramatic sympathy. It's as if I'm awaiting orders for either parole or execution. They never consider that we don't mind going, that this is our job, what we do to pay our bills, feed our kids, pay off expensive college loans. Civilians don't understand that we are Marines. We don't need pity when we deploy. It's what we're trained to do, what we volunteer to do. I don't know. It depends on what unit I'm with after I PCS. If I get attached to a team on an IA billet, I throw out as many terms and acronyms as I can to boggle their civilian brains. Again, a blank stare. I don't explain that PCS means permanent change of duty station, or that IA billet means individual augment. Both mean you're assigned to a different unit, mission, people, maybe even a different war. Do you want to go back? They ask, ignoring my acronyms. I wouldn't mind going to Afghanistan. I answer out of habit. I have learned that the crazier I make myself appear, the fewer inappropriate personal questions they ask. They change the subject when they realize they can't empathize with my response. Instead, they focus on simple things, like the weather. How hot was it? Their relentless curiosity about a world they will never experience should be flattering, but instead it makes me sick to my stomach, like I'm caught in a sandstorm inhaling too much dust again. The week before I left, we had a barbecue, and at 8 p.m., it was still 110 degrees outside. It was at least 115 during the day. On our way home, we had to stop in Kuwait for 4 days. There it was closer to like 120. I don't tell them that it snowed in January. It's not my job to fix their misconceptions. Wow, that's hot, they say in their most enthusiastic voice. I don't remind them that under flak jackets, Kevlar helmets, carrying a day pack, rifle, and pistol, it's more than hot. It's fucking unbearable. They ask about the sandstorms, the bombings, the people, but all they know of war are images from television and retold stories from nephews and distant cousins, or someone who knew someone who went over there at some point. Yeah, it's hot, I shrug. I didn't used to be this cynical or this brazen. I don't feel salty or even sad. It's like I no longer live my life and instead watch it through a television screen, waiting for the character that looks like me, sounds like me, but isn't really me, to react to the various situations invisible producers create from an office offset. My friends try to be supportive. They don't understand that the only support I need is to be left alone. They volunteer to help move my stuff out of storage, stuff I don't want anymore, but I tell them I can manage it on my own and hire movers with the money I saved over the deployment. As I unpack, I wonder why I bought this stuff in the first place. Clothes and trinkets that once had meaning, jewelry and coins that I've insured for their value. It all seems like a burden to move into my latest temporary living arrangement. I dream of giving up everything I own to the homeless man on the corner of my new neighborhood, who stands at the intersection and holds a sign every night that reads, "Homeless vet suffering from PMSD, post-marriage stress disorder." But his grocery cart is already full. He doesn't have any room for my trash. I roll down my window and give him all my cash and spare change instead. A friend comments that he probably spends it on booze. Good for him, I think, as I roll up my car window. Without smiling, I turn the corner, watch the man count out the spare change in the rearview mirror. He always looks disappointed in my charity of leftovers from the day's expenses. Sometimes he throws the coins at my car and screams expletives. I simply drive on, happy that I'm not the only one having a bad day. It's only been 3 weeks since I arrived back in the States. I spent 6 months in a combat zone, and what do I have to show for it? A couple more medals and ribbons to pin on my dress blues, cheap souvenirs from the various Haji shops on base that I toss in boxes labeled shit I don't need, bags under my eyes from insomnia, a headache from another hangover. My friends drag me out so they can brag and tell strangers I'm a Marine and I was in Iraq, that I was there and now I'm home. Safe, they announce to their captive audience. People thank me, shake my hand, and buy a round of drinks. No thanks, I'm good, I say, but another beer and a shot is ordered anyways. The strangers ask, so how was it? With a tone in their voice like they are good listeners, like I can finally tell the truth instead of some patriotic bullshit canned answer they've heard so many times before. Like I can confide in them and share the sins I carry alone so as not to burden loved ones. The bar is loud and they are drunk, and I consider bearing my soul, if for nothing else than to get them to leave me alone. It's over, I say as I raise the shot glass of unknown liquors to cheers. To America, I announce, feigning hope. I gulp the alcohol I didn't want. It burns my throat, and for a second, my numb body tingles. To being home, they add, as they slam the glass on the counter. After an awkward pause, they finally leave to talk to a prettier, friendlier girl at the other end of the bar. Thank you.